Lefty Podcast, Onora Boys in the building. We're brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Ladies and gents, if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it, love. Nation, what's good? Happy Tuesday to everybody. Lucky Lefty Podcast, MALIK, ZAIRE, SHAUN, Davis, and Notre boys. Indiana, Hoosiers invade Notre Dame Stadium Friday night, prime time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Snow flurries in the forecast early in the day, but I'm going to get to why I am sick of hearing about snow flurries when it comes to this game. We're going to hear from the coordinators. Al Golden, Mike Denbrock. What do they have in store for the Hoosiers? We'll hear from two more captains. Xavier Watts, Jack Kaiser. Hear what they have to say about the matchup. Big time pickup in the transfer portal. Another nickel. This is what Mike Mickens, Coach Freeman, and Coach Golden do each and every year. They have identified the nickel in Al Golden's offense, needing veteran leadership, playing time, experience. They go out and get another experience transfer. This time, they go down south. We'll talk about that as well. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Lucky Lefty Pod on TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments and questions. We respond to all. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Lucky Legends Podcast, players only. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, home of the misguided passion, forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Pre-show meeting, ladies and gents, we were just having a laughter about that debacle. And man, look, I don't like pointing fingers and saying, oh, that generation, this generation. I normally don't do that. But the need, especially in personal matters, to run to social media. Another example yesterday with Travis Hunter and his significant other, bro. I was watching and I felt bad for them with each and every passing syllable and word that was uttered. I was just like, just get off. Turn the TV off. Just don't do this because you're making it worse. You are in shark-infested waters right now, and you are bleeding. You know what that means. Anytime blood is in the water, the sharks are coming. And so I just pray for the young man. I pray for the young man. So, Left, I pray for him, man. That's all I can do, man. I'm gonna pray for them, not just him, them.
Yeah, just sometimes just take a step.
It's
all good, bro. I swear,
it got so deep. She felt the need to show pictures of her mother, her dad, her grandmother.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was deep for the internet, though. That's what made it crazy. It's like, this is for the internet. This ain't even for. You can't beat the internet. I think that's what it is. You can't beat the internet by trying to over-explain or get the internet on your side. It just, the internet always wins. Like, just let it go.
Woo! Devonta Smith, defensive back, part of that safety duo for Alabama. That Alabama squad that won my bet for me. Shout out to Devonta. I'm going to have to give him an LL hat when he makes it to campus. Say thank you, my brother. You won a bet for me. You and Malachi Moore manning the back end of that susceptible defense. But Alabama, man, I mean, I never disagreed with you that, things might get rough. But Jalen Mbakwe reportedly is accepting an NIL offer to go to Ole Miss. Reports came out this morning that Alabama's making a counter offer. There were also rumors last night that Ryan Williams might be jumping in the portal, the freshman All-American wide receiver. It's a lot going on down in Tuscaloosa, my friend. A lot going on. Illinois might be signing a left tackle or a tackle from Alabama. He came to visit Champaign this weekend.
From Alabama?
Yeah, that lets you know when someone is thinking about transferring to Illinois from Alabama. That's the college landscape we're in, bro.
I was right. That means I was right. I just didn't have the quite wins aligned, but I was right about the state of the program.
Yeah, you went out there too far. I tried to forewarn you, but I'm like, all right, you just want to hand over the bet,
The Georgia game really lost it because I was looking back on it, unexpected loss.
That cat, Carson Beck helped me out. Shout out to Carson Beck. But did a lot of research. There's a pre-existing relationship with Coach Freeman that plays a part in this. Coach Mickens as well. As soon as they found out he was in the portal, they jumped on him. But even greater than that, if you listen to, this is what I like. Out of the previous two guys they went to the portal to get, Thomas Harper and then Jordan Clark, he is the best of the bunch. 4-star recruit coming out of high school, extremely talented. And the more I dug into him, a lot of podcasters for Alabama are dreading the fact that he jumped in the portal. And they say, yo, this kid is extremely talented. He does whatever you ask him to do. He's a hell of a young man, fantastic student, never a problem. His only issue while he was at Alabama was injuries. Multiple sites that cover Alabama said, just when you felt like he was about to break through, he would get nicked up multiple times early in his career, the middle of his career. Okay, this is his time. And then he would get nicked up and it would be a setback. And they said injuries are the only thing stopping this young man from being a fantastic player. This was his first year of being healthy. This was his first year at safety being healthy. He's played outside corner. He's played nickel. He's played safety. He's done everything. So this is a tremendous pickup, in my opinion. I think he blends in well. He brings leadership. That's something that they said he was one of the best leaders on that defense. So he brings leadership, and he comes into a program that has already been established and has a great culture. So it should be seamless as far as his transition. But once again, Mike Mickens identifies somebody else, and they pretty much have identified that nickel position in their defense being their portal target each and every year, and one of their main targets in the portal each and every year left.
Absolutely, and I think that it's also good to have that just reputable name attached. Like, for instance, the groundswell that came from Bear Alexander leaving Georgia to go to USC was big for Lincoln Riley, and inflated the idea that maybe Lincoln Riley's taking a big step in making changes in the defense because of the name in which the kid came from. So, this is not a kid coming from Massachusetts Tech or Mississippi, backwater county state. This is a guy you feel good about. Name alone. Now, obviously, having a connection with him from previous relationships play a part. But for Marcus Freeman and Mike Mickens to jump on it like they did, like this was almost the speed of it was when we jumped on our quarterbacks in the transfer portal. We damn near had them first day out. So I do think that this is a continuing to add to the plethora of depth that we have at that secondary unit. I just hope that with this kid coming, it just adds more incentive for Mike Mickens to stay another year or two and see how it goes.
Whew. Lucky podcast. So more portal action is coming. Notre Dame is very active in the portal. We talked about, the quarterback portal rumors and everything yesterday. I think position 2 wide receivers are probably needed. I'm excited about one particular name if the deal is sealed, but 2 receivers are probably going to be signed in the portal. And then you look for them to go and get, like we talked about this yesterday, Left. If you had your druthers, would you go after an elite pass rusher or an elite interior player in the portal? If you could only afford one based upon the budget and what's allowed.
Between receiver who?
No, between pass rusher and defensive tackle.
D tackle. I think D tackle and providing middle pressure always is a good base point to build pressures off of, but to also have confidence in a 4 and 3 man front that at least you get the quarterback moving from having middle pressure, and then your outside rushers develop over time and become halfway decent. That middle pressure pushes it towards them, so it makes their job easier.
So I'm going to think about this from a depth standpoint and looking at the roster. You lose your 2 interior guys in Riley Mills and Howard Cross. You got Sean Stabiliano Jr., Devin Houston, Gabriel Rubio, just for the sake of it, Jason Onye, maybe coming back. Brennan Vernon, Donovan Heinisch. I'm not sure. Botello and Traore coming off serious injuries. Will they be ready at the beginning of the season? You got Junior on the outside. You got Burnham on the outside. You got Bryce Young. You got Logan Thomas. See, this is a really interesting question, Left, because I feel like you have more dependable depth coming back on the inside. And the greater need, especially to start the season, is probably a really good pass rusher off the edge. So I'm not mad at saying D tackle, but I wouldn't be mad if someone felt like there was a greater need to go out and get an elite pass rusher off the edge. Strictly, we were just dealing from a place of strength and no health issues with Botello and Traore, and that's 100% on the inside. And everything you said about the need on the inside is right and what it does to the pass rush. You don't have to tell me as a Bears fan, bro, because for some reason they felt like Darnell Wright was a better draft pick than Jalen Carter. I still harp on that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I tweet about that every time I see the Eagles playing. I tweet out Jalen Carter, huh? Yeah, Darnell Wright over Jalen Carter. Yep. We thought that was the best thing to do. Why? Oh, yeah, off the field issues.
Is that bigger than
yeah, off the field issues.
Is that bigger than the Mitch Trubisky mistake?
No, nothing. No, because that would be forever connected to Patrick Mahomes. No,
Okay.
You would never trump that. No. And Jalen Carter is probably close to being the best defensive lineman in the league, or will be.
Yeah, he will be.
He will be.
He's definitely up there.
But no, just what Pat has done already in his career that would be triple asterisk next to his name in draft lore. Dude, the Bears took Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Yes, that's the worst of the worst. But once again, Devonta Smith, defensive back, newest member of a young but uber talented uber talented secondary for Notre Dame. You talking about, you know what's crazy, Love? I think a lot of people going into this season said, man, we got Ben Morrison. We're going to lose him. We're going to lose X. Man, the secondary is probably going to take a step back next year when both of them leave. I don't know if we feel that way now, Left. I don't know if we feel that way.
No, I think if anything, we've gotten stronger just from the sense of longevity. Maybe not of impact.
Yeah.
But I really do love what a Don Schuler and Kenny Urlacher and MALIK and the guys that Rod Hurd in there and the guys that we've put back there. Maybe not as a singularly individual impact, but the group is still good. I think we've seen an example of that from the DBs. No Ben Morrison, but the group was good. No Xavier Watts, but the group is good. And I think through the group being good, somebody's going to pop out and be that next Kyle, Xavier, Ben. Somebody's going to make a stand.
You know what's crazy, Love? Remember how we were like super excited? Like Aldrich opted out, and we were like, yo, we love Aldrich Estimate. Don't get it twisted. But we were super excited, like, all right, now that he's out the way, we get to see four. We get to see four do his thing, right? Like, we'll miss you, but hey, we're looking forward to this guy taking over. And he has not disappointed. Jeremiah Love hasn't let us down. I'm starting to feel that way. Like, Dan, I'm going to miss you, man. I'm going to miss you a lot. I'm not mad at Leonard Moore and Christian Gray for the next 2 years. Not mad at all. Or for the next year. I'll take it. I'll take it. And Bronte Johnson. Throw him in the mix. Like, because I just have so much belief in the development that Mike Mickens has put on display. Even the safety situation, you spoke well about that, Left. X is different, right? But do you remember when we said, man, I don't know if we'll see another Kyle Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
Or another safety that good or as good. And X has come really close, hasn't
he? Yeah.
He's come really close. So maybe
he's got different special qualities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it's closer than saying close. I think it's just different. Mm-hmm. Same beast, different animal, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then, like you said, Don Schuler, he's going to be that dude next year. He's already gotten better, played supremely with supreme confidence. His confidence is going to be even better, and they're going to challenge him to be better, just as they challenged X to come back and get better. I asked multiple people in the last 2 days, did X improve his draft stock by coming back? And they said without a doubt, yes. They said last year he was a surefire second rounder. If he tested well, maybe he comes in the back end of the first round. They're like, this year, more than likely, he's back in first round. Unless he just disappoints in testing. He's definitely back in first round. So I think it bodes well. I'm liking this trend of players not opting out of bowl games now with the NIL. Do you think that's a direct correlation to like being paid now and NIL money being put out there to, you know, we're seeing transfer portal guys leave earlier, but you're also seeing guys not opting out of bowl games.
I think indirectly you've gotten incentivized postseason, whether it's from more tape to be played, playoffs, NIL deals coming through, transfer opportunities. The shifting of college football paradigm happens in this offseason that people can really see other options other than saying only the league and that's it. So I think the incentivization directly and indirectly through what offseason offers through all these different opportunities, I think it makes it really awesome to see guys make that choice. Plus, it's like the scarcity of having a spot in college football on a team where it's the devil you know compared to the devil you don't. I think that's in the back of a lot of guys' mind is the security. Yeah, I've seen what it looks like on these transfer portal wires. Guys ain't always making it. At least I know I got a spot here. Yeah, I may not be ready for the league yet. At least I know I got a spot here. Hell, I know I may not make it here. Let me get out early because I got a spot there. So I think it's a sense of security guys are thinking more about than just taking the risk of leaving out or just taking these opportunities of more games as a chance to improve their stock in the college football world. This is an audition for that next team, last impression. A lot of guys that aren't necessarily league ready yet need that film because they know what it looks like on the wire and talking to guys on the wire. So it's become more of a crazy situation, but it's better opportunities,
Yeah, Lucky Lefty podcast. So that sums up Devonta Smith's commitment to Notre Dame at the nickel. Let's talk coordinators. And each and every week we would look forward to seeing what Al Golden would say because his press conference would almost make us feel like, he's got something up his sleeve. He definitely has something up his sleeve. So he was asked about Indiana's quarterback, Mr. Rourke. And you've heard a lot of people talk about he's a statue, doesn't have a lot of movement. Notre Dame's going to light him up. Well, this is what Al Golden had to say about Connor Rourke, the Indiana offense, and what to look forward to on Saturday night.
Really good decision maker. Obviously, can throw the ball vertical, gets the ball out of his hands as quick as anybody. Does an excellent job in the RPO game. So, just a really seasoned player that plays with a lot of poise.
And then, is there anything from your time in the NFL going on playoff runs that you can incorporate into this scenario, or not so much?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really so much for outside consumption, but the guys know there are certain things that you can learn from going in there and how you approach each practice and the little things that you have to get done every day. I've been trying to share that with our guys and really what's important. So a lot of it's not really for the outside, but really in terms of our preparation. I am glad that I've gone through those experiences, and hopefully we can glean a little something from that.
Quick release, good deep ball.
Yeah, I just like what Al Golden gives as a steady constant, as that he's not rocked one way or the other, regardless of who we're playing or where we are in the season. I just think that gives that confidence to the team overall is that, there's times where you feel unsure about things. But when you look in your coach's office and that guy's just every day the same, that's infectious, and it's made the confidence and consistency of this team every week the same. And I just feel good about where we're headed, man. I think this is just a really good feeling compared to when we were 12-0 or whatever and going into the playoffs.
For me, like I said it yesterday, this is a team that likes to dictate. They've done well dictating. There's no common opponent, but with me being an Illinois fan, there is a common opponent between the Fighting Illini and the Hoosiers. So I went back and I watched Indiana versus Michigan, and I went back and watched Illinois versus Michigan. The games from a score standpoint, very similar. Illinois, Indiana both jumped out early on Michigan. Michigan, the offense was just, they would turn the ball over multiple times, even when they had drives. Michigan had opportunities to get back in the game and possibly win both games. He just couldn't get it done. But what I did see is that both teams struggled to be consistent. They were able to get off early against the Michigan defense, but they couldn't consistently drive the ball. And this goes back to what I said, being able to dictate. It's one thing coming out and scheming against Al Golden. We've seen multiple teams have success early on coming out, being able to scheme against Al Golden and his defense. The problem is, once you have done that, and once you go deep in the well that early, Notre Dame's defense is very much like a boa constrictor. Once they get control and they've seen what you do, they begin to tighten and tighten and tighten. And
well, then it also comes down to, you got to have special players to be able to execute all game.
Yeah.
All game. Yeah, game planning gets you to a certain point, but the players got to meet that other half. And that's the difference. Al Golden's ability with his rotations, the scheme, the adjustments makes it hard enough. Your coaching staff is going to come with a game plan that has to get deep in the well. But sometimes, and most times, your star players got to arise to those occasions where we have more of that. We have more guys that rise to the occasion of, okay, I'm drawing the line here. We just haven't been pushed by a team with enough of those players where it's equal to or greater than, to where, okay, where can we draw the line when they're still coming at us?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference in a lot of these games, especially you look at USC, how they ran out of gas. Let's be honest. One, they were surprised to be in it. And then when it came down to, okay, now they got to lock in and hit some key plays, they didn't have enough juice. They just didn't. Where we did. Christian Gray got stronger. Xavier Watts got stronger. The defense got tighter. The offense finished the game. But you're talking about two potential first-round picks. What on USC offense is a first-round pick? So we'll face teams with first-round guys that I think that will be tested to the max. I just think that seeing how USC went was a great test to a secondary that hasn't been consistently tested all year.
Yeah, I can rock out to that. That's solid. I apologize because I did I misspoke a little bit. They both, Notre Dame and Indiana, both played and both destroyed Purdue. But I can't even count Purdue as like a true litmus test. That's like putting the pH.
We took the heart from Purdue so early.
Yeah,
we allowed these teams to do this to Purdue because we showed the way. Once we started getting silly and putting in guys out of the stands and the water boys and the backup equipment managers in the game, and they started scoring points, everybody that watched that film after that was like, okay, these guys, we do what we want.
Left, you had me dying. You had me dying that evening. You were like, dude, ain't no way Kenny was passing the ball on that RPO or giving it to the running back.
Ain't no way.
He's like, yo, Kenny came to the game like, oh, I'm getting mine.
Yeah, I'm getting mine. Like, yeah, that's all good to run the play successful and all that.
We all eat. Right.
It's 60s. What? Oh, yeah, I got to get some of that. I got to get, which is the signs, guys that want to get after it. So that's good to see.
Oh, man. But you have to love Al Golden. Anytime you hear him throwing roses at the feet of the quarterback, you already know he's leaving the podium like, yeah, let's go eat this dude up. Let's get it done. He's like, I love it. Because it's like, yeah, early down install. That's what we worked on today. We just got off the field 5 minutes ago. So we're going to do third downs and special situations tomorrow. He's locked in. Like you said, he's the model of consistency when it comes to preparation for Notre Dame and that defense. Lucky Lefty podcast. He was even asked about the plan. What's the plan for this matchup? This is what he had to say, Left.
Not a lot of room for first, right? So this is a first. So that's something the guys should be really proud of. And obviously, starting with Coach Freeman, hosting the first game, first playoff game here. So that's great, and that's a start. And all of our focus right now is on Indiana and what we need to do. We just came off the field 5 minutes ago, so early downs, good start. Tomorrow we'll move on to third down and see if we can have a plan that can stop them. How did you?
So modest. And we'll see if we can have a plan that can stop them. Coach, you've been doing this all season to us, man. We're not falling for it. Not falling for it.
That's right.
You don't, Al. You're very comfortable with the plan. There is no. We'll see if we can stop them. All right. Okay, Coach Golden. All right.
Yeah, Coach Golden, man. I think it's a master class in just not deception, but gamesmanship. And I think just the way he's complimentary, but also his actions of, okay, I can acknowledge what you guys do well, but that's just not well against us. I'm gonna show you some things that you probably ain't seen on film and give you a master class in how to break you down, but you do some good things against other people that I admire. So I think that gamesmanship is pretty awesome. But also I think that Denbrock is, in his way, has some gamesmanship through the struggle. Oh, we're going against Army, Navy. Oh, we're going to run just like them. we try to outdo what you do best. He's like a zealot of offenses. Black people are zealots of everything else. We will outpoke the Pope. We'll get into out rap the rapper. I mean, we are zealots of everything. So I think for us, it's similar to Notre Dame. We very much zealots on offense. Okay, y'all said we can't run. We're gonna run for 400. Oh, we can't get some receivers involved. This game specifically, we'll get receivers involved. So I think that mentality is really nice to have.
Yeah, I'm very interested in, but we heard this and I don't want to make the comparison because I believe Indiana would beat Army if they played, but I heard them tell us we couldn't run the ball against Texas A&M. They said we were going to have a problem running the ball against Army. They said we're going to have a problem doing certain things against other teams. And for the most part, Notre Dame ended up doing what they wanted to do in those particular games. Yeah, Indiana only gives up 76 yards per game on the ground.
They have to almost double that. Realistically, if you going into this game, you're trying to win in your IU. All the metrics are off the table. Oh, okay, so we don't give up 76. Let's double that, and how do we adjust to it? Just to be honest with yourself. I would just how Army's coach said these are like playing the Packers and everybody else's college football team. That's how I would take it. I would have to do best and worst case scenario. What I'm excited about Bill Belichick joining college football is that we're going to get a chance to see true gamesmanship. You're going to see all types of Bill Belichick twisting and bending rules and doing all these things in game where he's toting the line and he's bringing all this experience. I think that's great for the college football landscape because it needs to be shaken up. We need to see defenses be more impactful in games. We need to see, what it looks like in these stories that he tells from NFL. He's probably going to have a great time in college football. So I think it all comes together how it should, but man, we got to figure this out.
Honestly, I don't think it's a lot to figure out, bro. Line them up. We'll see. There's nothing to figure out. I don't understand, Oh, they had this dynamic pass rushing. Oh, they had these stout tackles. Dude, if you really look at their linebackers, Notre Dame's offensive line has faced better linebackers.
That's what I'm saying.
Notre Dame's offensive line has faced as good as or even better defensive linemen. They've definitely faced better players in the secondary. But I will give Indiana credit. They are, as a cohesive unit, together. They have to be. And that's what you have to respect them. That's why you have to respect them. The way they play. The way they play. They know what they have to do. I saw a clip of their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator yesterday. And he was talking about, we have to make sure we hit Riley Leonard. And I'm like, huh? I hope you're not about to just be reckless and crash down with the edges. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because 4 and 24 are gonna pop one. Like, if you go ahead, get reckless. Go ahead, get reckless. And I think Brian Driscoll talked about this on IB yesterday. Like, if you look at their defensive construct, they are reckless in some ways because they're really trying to give you some eye candy to force you to do what they want you to do. The truth of the matter is, people have been hitting Riley Leonard since week 1, bro.
Riley Leonard invites hits, so it's like okay.
Everybody's like, we've been talking about that the last 5-6 weeks.
Riley Leonard's told his own team take the red jersey off. So that's Riley's game. Beat on him, have his jersey the dirtiest by the fourth quarter. He's limping, and that's like the lore of Riley Leonard. Oh, he was so dirty towards the end of the game. They've been beating on him all day. He's been taking shots, but still standing in the pocket. Oh, how's he going to finish? He's amazing. All-American hero. That's how they do it. But I think the strategy of hitting Riley is smart because it's going to say, hey, Denbrock, if you think that you just going to win this game and force it through 13, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That whole 4th and 3rd and short where you get in this super tight set with just Riley standing there and I know you're going to run it with him, we're not going to let it happen. That should be flags up for Denbrock. Okay, let me not go in there and just hammer 13 in the hole right there. Let me get a little more creative. Let's take less pressure off Riley and more pressure on the team. Because we clearly got everybody confused. They think it's the ball go through Riley. The ball go through the team. The ball go through 4. So I think this is a great opportunity to show what we can do from a team offense perspective. Because that's where we are greater than IU defensively. We have a greater amount of variety and talent than IU has to match up. That's where we win. When you're getting Greathouse involved, Thomas involved, Love involved, Riley involved, Williams involved, Collins involved, Mitchell involved, Evans. It just goes down the list. When all that is happening, that's where the 49, 50 points come. When you're saying, man, it's Riley or nothing, it's 13 or die, that's where the 28 points come in. The 13 points, the 16 points, because you're going through one person. That's what gives IU hope. What doesn't give IU hope is where they're like, okay, we got 13 covered, but we ain't got 4. We ain't got 24. We ain't got 1. We ain't got, that's when it becomes overwhelming. So I think if we're able to not make the moment too big where we panic in our own calling, I think we'll be straight. This is not a game I'm worried about. I'm worried about the week after.
Advanced scouting.
I'm over there sitting in the stands with my binoculars. At Georgia practice behind a little tree or something.
Right,
I need to say because that's the test. Like,
ladies and gentlemen, left is in between the hedges, literally, like
in between the hedges. That's where the test of the whole season. Let's be honest. This is not a game where we are nervous about. This is a feel-good, welcome to America. This is college football all about great state of Indiana battling. But we all know in the back of our mind, this is a 48-21 game. The test of the season is that quarterfinals against Georgia. Let's just be honest. That's what college football did it for. They said, yeah, y'all can ride high, 10 games straight, whooping teams by double digits. Everybody's laughing and feeling good. Y'all dropping your documentary mid-playoffs. What you going to do with Georgia? We don't care that they 9-3. We don't care. We don't care we just gave them a first-round bye. We don't care. We'll give them 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's the battle of college football. Independent Notre Dame versus the best that the college football world can offer. They know it's unfair. They know this matchup should be happening in the championship. They said, no, we got to get Notre Dame out there early. Stop the momentum early. Because that's what this season comes down to. Who cares about all them games before we can win by 100 in the snow on Friday? And it wouldn't mean nothing if we lose the week after. Let's be honest. This week is about this week.
Absolutely with me to think. Yeah,
this week is about making money for Notre Dame. This is rake it in season. Because we just had a girls' game where we win 3 top 5 games. That's money. This is just to collect the cheese.
It's the offering plate being passed around.
It's just we passing the plate around on Friday. This ain't about no football game. You know how many people don't flow in for the aesthetic? The fact that it's snowing, it's playoffs, it's a home, never before, ever done. We riding high. We know we're gonna win. This is for the family and friends. This is like going to the movies. You know,
game day.
You know, it's Thanksgiving. They do the whole movie after the dinner. You know, some families go to. We all just going to the movies. This is like entertainment. It's not an actual nail biter. The nail biter is the quarterfinals against Georgia. That's all that matters. That's where Riley Leonard gets his stripes. Marcus Freeman sets himself up as a national coach. That's where we get the respect we need. We can change perspective of our own program. That's where guys can actually get that draft that they needed, and people can see that we can recruit just like Georgia can recruit because we got talent like they got talent. That's what the football matchup's about. The whole aesthetic of all the it's going to be flurries and snow and beautiful, and what a moment. It's a coming home feeling. But let's get serious. That week after is all that matters. And I think that this is a week to build confidence and to know that we're the team we know we are, and we got to go do it for real the week after.
Woo. Lucky Lefty podcast. That cat Luff is fired up. Said the collection plate is being passed around this week.
Oh yeah, they go. How much money you think they'll? You talking about bookstore to playoff gear? You know they done got them the gear already pressed out. Notre Dame playoff run. You know some playoff. Bookstore gonna go crazy. Parking go crazy. Concession, they gonna start serving hot chocolate in the state. I mean, it's gonna go crazy.
Oh man.
And it's on break. Oh,
yeah, finals will be over. Yeah, it's on break.
Oh, man, it's gonna be a winter wonderland in South Bend.
Wimery 269, thank you for the GTV question. What uniforms do you think the Irish will wear this Friday? Heard there might be some blackout unis. Look, man, look. So I'm gonna piggyback off of you for this one, Left, and then I'll let you go. Nothing special for this one, man. You come out in the special uniforms against Georgia.
Yes.
That's a big special moment.
Yes.
You saved the special uniforms for Georgia. If you
Get
win
the
this
job
game.
done this week.
Just come out and hey, gold and blue. Let's go.
Golden blue, let's go. Don't even play
Workman
with
light.
it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Workman light. Take care of business. Home unis. This is who we are. This is what we do. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. All of that black. Say that for the quarter.
Save that for when it matters.
Say that for the semifinals.
Say that for when the people gonna be watching.
Yeah.
People gonna watch because it's the first playoff game. It's all cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, first of all, they're gonna watch because it's Notre Dame.
Of course.
People, haters and lovers are gonna watch this game.
But the lenses change when they take the Notre Dame glasses off and put the respect glasses on is the week after.
Yeah.
That's where you go in the locker room with one jersey and come out with another.
Yeah, dog.
Let them know.
Yeah, I'll let you all hear Mike Denbrock because I felt like Mike Denbrock. You'll hear him when he talks. Let's go ahead and hear Al Golden as he finished up. He was talking about just sticking to the details.
No, Coach Free does a great job with their schedule. Coach Landau down in the weight room and his staff, they do a great job. So really it's, the coordination of all of those, including academics. So that will have no bearing. Good news is Indiana's in the same boat, right? So in terms of, how long ago they've played. So biggest thing right now is just keep getting better every day. Keep it small. Keep it as small as you can. Stay focused. And, don't worry about the things you can't control. Right now, we can control how we prepare, our attitude. Don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about, exams won't have an outcome in this game. Our choices as we lead up to it will, and that's what we're focusing on.
Al, you've experienced a lot in your football career at the various levels. You're also in this caliber of playoff for the first time. I mean, is there a sense of accomplishment for you? Or I'm just curious how you feel about being a part of this.
No, just excited, to represent Notre Dame and work for Coach Freeman and be around great coaches and players every day. I can't tell you enough how much our players motivate me to be my best every day, my best version, to work hard, to do the little things. Never gloss it over anything. Try to get them in the right position as much as we can. So no, it's a blessing. And as I said to the group this morning, it is special, And coach is trying to get us to elevate our game. We all have to elevate it, starting with me. So a little more of this, a little more red zone, a little more third down. Review this a couple more times. See what adjustment you would make here, all these little details. I think that's what's really important right now.
Ooh, that cat Al is talking about elevating this game, Left. Did you hear him? That cat Al Golden said, I'm going deeper in the bag for this one. It's special. This is a little different. It's a first. Hey, as I said before, man, the vast majority of the times, I'm not worried about this team being prepared for the moment. Not under Marcus Freeman.
Not under Marcus Freeman.
No. Now, where they execution has been a problem.
Yeah.
In-game decisions have been a problem under Marcus Freeman at times. But being ready, no, that won't be.
Being ready is just like a word salad. It's fluff only because how do you not get ready? Come out there and not play. No, I think the thing is, are we going to, like you said, actualize in moments? I think the playoff games are going to be about moments, regardless of how much I think we'll win by. Just like the Ohio State-Indiana game was moments. They had a buff punt, and then they got a punt return, and now you down 2 scores. That's all they needed. So I think that in moments, are we going to play to the occasion, make the plays necessary, and not get overwhelmed because everything is just going good? Everything's going to be going good Friday. You got the game day, the snow, the hype, the tradition, the fans, the money flowing, everybody feeling good that we're going to win. But you still got to make those moments count. So Kicking's got to be special. You know, some of the mistakes we've had can't happen. And I think the tone is set through the defense.
Yeah.
If defense come out there tripping, giving up 2 scores early, 3 scores early, it's a game. We out there missing wide open tackles or giving up the 50-50 ball, or letting them make ridiculous plays in the snow. It's a game. So the defense is the determining factor, in my opinion, for this game and setting the tone, because offense will just recoup all what's left behind. Defense go win the war. Offense comes behind the scorch earth. They just cleaning up what's behind. Leftover dudes, whatever. So I do think it's important that they set the tone, because if they're giving up early everything to IU and they're just flowing on IU's offense, it's going to be a game. Because I still haven't seen our offense set the tone to where if defense is having a bad day, that's okay, because we're just overwhelming on our end.
That USC game was probably the closest thing to that. You know, and then the defense still closed the deal. So
that's what I'm saying. Defense still close. So it's like offense has yet to have the opportunity, maybe, to where they set the tone and defense fought.
Yeah. Mike Denbrock, you could tell he was frustrated. He was asked about the elements on Saturday night, the romanticism of the game and the snow falling, and how do you deal with the elements, Coach Denbrock? He got a little frustrated, but this is what he had to say.
I mean, I'm kind of just trying to be the same guy every day, which is pretty quick-tempered and excitable when it goes good, when it goes bad, and I don't think they have a real hard time understanding which way I feel about the way things are going, which can be good and bad at times. But Indiana's defense is a whole nother deal. Very, very talented group. Play together, play hard, understand the scheme, execute it with great detail. It's a huge challenge for what we're facing on Friday.
Austin.
Yeah. So, you know, it's going to be a little chilly on Friday night. How even more important is it to get the kind of the running game established? I know you guys do that well all year anyway, but is it more of a priority with it being, 30 degrees or less on Friday night?
Yeah, I don't know that changes necessarily for us. I mean, it's always our plan to find a way to run the football. Everything we do kind of builds around that and is kind of comes from that to begin with. So we're going to have some success on the ground. It's very difficult to do. Statistically, obviously, Indiana is off the charts with the way they stop the run, and they make it very difficult for you to run it. So we're going to have to be very detailed. We're going to have to be, on top of all of it to run the ball successfully against this team, which will hopefully give us an opportunity to do some other things that we want to do as well.
Like I said, Notre Dame, they've been told the same thing against multiple opponents, and they find a way to run the ball, and they find a way to do pretty much what it is they want to do if they execute. And yeah, it's really as simple as that. And we have a couple more days, so I don't really want to dig into the numbers, because the numbers support exactly what he said. And I said it earlier in the show, Left. The strength of this Indiana defense is not so much the talent. They have talent, but they're not a size, speed combination defense that just overwhelms you. They are just a really cohesive group. That's just it. They play 11 defense well. 11 guys locked in together in unison. That's their strength. And you just keep hitting the nail. That's what it is. Eventually, Notre Dame is the hammer on Friday night. Indiana is the nail. And you just keep hitting it until the nail starts to move, especially with the run game. And I think that's what Notre Dame is going to try to do on Friday night.
Absolutely. I mean, Friday night is just straightforward, old-fashioned butt whooping. Don't make it too complicated. Become overpowering. And we're going to be right where we need to be, man. I'm just super excited to see how we can become the team that is feared in the playoffs and not flagged as something that is overinflated. You know, our whole thing is we are overinflated and overhyped going into big games and in situations like these. And I just want us to win clean, not we had to kick a field goal from 65 yards to win, or they fumbled on the one, you know, that kind of thing. We should win this game clean and then focus on next week.
Yep. Lucky Lefty podcast. He was also asked about, if I'm not mistaken, in this clip, you know, how do you prepare for the elements, basically? And this is what Coach Denbrock had to say.
To be honest with you, I don't want snow pretty much anytime. Snow's usually okay if you're not playing football.
Wait, hold on. I need Mike Denbrock to say this again. All this romanticism, it's snow, it's going to be beautiful, it's Notre Dame, it's the playoffs. Speak facts, Coach.
To be honest with you, I don't want snow pretty much anytime. Snow's usually okay if you're not playing football up until December 25th, and then I wish the snow would go away forever and then maybe come back.
Well, I have one more. I mean, we work in television stations. There are meteorologists everywhere we turn a corner, and they're forecasting a chance. When it comes to what you guys try and do, like, just is way too much made of that? I mean, does that impact execution very much?
I mean, I don't know how much it impacts execution. I think, obviously, you have to make allowances for certain things that could happen from a weather standpoint in case it's a torrential downpour or you're playing in the middle of a hurricane or, it's snowing so that you can't see. If it's just cold and, there's a few flurries in the air, I don't know how much that really changes the way you would attack it or the way you would go about doing it.
Your passing game has evolved throughout the year as you have gotten comfortable with Riley and vice versa. You've got potential for a couple games left. Like, where are you at on that arc in terms of where you would hope to be at this point in the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think our goal every day is to get a little bit better at what we do that day. So I think we've continued to do that throughout the season. I think we were a little bit better today than we were yesterday, and I think that's a good thing. That trend continues with this group because of the work that they put in and because of the attention to the details that they have. So that's continued to build, and hopefully that shows itself on Friday.
Well, 100% is hard. Let's just be honest. We just being honest. Hard to throw the football. And then on top of that, you're not great at throwing the football either. So you makes hard with throwing the football. We're not great at throwing the football, especially down the field. It should just be just like run the football, play action, some stuff sometimes. But this is one on the ground and in the trenches. I think Denbrock acknowledges this, he doesn't want the snow ever because that's just the last thing we need to a passing game that is what it is. We'll throw a bunch of hitches and outs, but I think, from a passing game, it is affected. But luckily, where a lot of teams aren't great at, we have been one of the few teams to be great running the football later in the season. And I think that's where the game is going to be won, is how many chances can we get explosive runs from our quarterback or our run game. And the passes are just the backbreakers, in my opinion. I don't think it's the key to winning. I think it's the backbreakers for it to be a blowout, So I think we'll pass to run and run heavy and hopefully not get in a situation where we have to pass late. I think it's going to be very controlled. We're good at time possession. Throw a lot of guys at you, got a lot of schemes, and got tough guys up front. So that's the game, in my opinion. And then the passes are just catch a couple screens, maybe. I doubt we throw the football down the field more than 5 times. I just doubt it. And down the field is 15 plus.
Well, I just think I was one of those guys that said, I don't get caught up. I understand it's the first home playoff game. You play it at Notre Dame Stadium, this, that, and other. I don't get caught up in that, bro. I don't care. If it was 15 below and snowing and I had the option of moving the game indoors to Indianapolis, I want my team to have the best conditions.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about that romantic stuff. I'm trying to win a game. What's going to give us the best opportunity to be at optimal performance? That's all I care about. All that other stuff, I get it for the very first time. I'm fine with it. Push the line with it. But moving forward, if the weather is atrocious, you better have a backup plan, or you should have a backup plan indoors. You should. That's just my opinion on it. And I think Mike Denbrock was just kind of like, man, Al Golden said it. Dude, yes, they have finals this week. Finals is not going to decide this game. Why we keep bringing up, dude, is this the first year Notre Dame has had midterms or finals during the week of a game? Left, you had midterms during the week of a game, didn't you?
I'm not gonna lie, that shit is stressful, man.
Yes, it's stressful. But it's something that is the norm for a Notre Dame student athlete. This cat Howard Cross on Sunday, my man said, yeah, man, I just took my last final and I got 3 papers to finish by tomorrow. That's insane, bro.
No, seriously, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's the stuff.
Insane.
Like,
that's insane. But that is the academic
papers be like, you got a 10-page here, a 5-page, all type of research you got to do here, and then like a 15-pager, like, and you just like, man, I'm trying to graduate, dog. Like, and you've been BSing it because it's the season, and you know. But yeah, so these are valid questions. Now I know, that's not gonna win us games, but it does affect your sleep and all. You gotta want to win this game. That's what it is. You know what I mean? If you're gonna take the proper steps to prepare, it's a little more hectic during finals, but go out there and win the game. I just don't think we're outmatched this game. So it's just a matter of come to play. Come to play.
It's like you already know people are going to try to find the excuses, right? They shouldn't have announced the contract. That's why they lost. If Notre Dame just happens to lose. Oh, man. It was this. It was that. A Pete Bavacqua shouldn't have spoken during the week. We should have had green rally towels instead of gold rally towels. We shouldn't have had these uniforms on. We should have worn it. Dude, the fan base, we're special, just like the Notre Dame football program. We will find any and every excuse to explain and justify why we lost, right? I'm sure somebody's research is saying the Notre Dame players had their first quizzes and classes the week of Northern Illinois. Made it really difficult to prepare. That's why they didn't play their best. That's why I love Al Golden saying, look, man, if we lose, we lose. It won't be because it was finals. Stop. Mike Denbrock, man, it's football. As coaches, we don't want bad weather ever. We don't ever want bad weather. He said, I don't want to see snow until Christmas. And then Christmas Day, after that, it could go away. I'm sorry. I agree. That's why people are like, yeah, we should have the Super Bowl in cold cities. For what? For what? I don't care if I ever see a Super Bowl.
It's just terrible product. That's all.
Yeah, I don't care if I ever see the Super Bowl in the city of Chicago. Ever. Now, I know if they build a new stadium, that's part of the package. If you build a new stadium, you are guaranteed a Super Bowl in your city. But no one wants to come here and kick it. That New York Super Bowl was, dude. I talked to so many people that said that was a horrible Super Bowl to go to. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, I have to double check. I'm waiting for my wife to get back to me. I was offered tickets for the game. Can I keep it a buck left? Can I keep it a buck left? I was offered tickets to the game. And I couldn't say yes because we do have some events that have to be moved around. Multiple events that would have to be moved around. And we would have to adjust our shopping. And I'm saying to myself, man, do I want to do this? Do I really want to do this? To go up here and freeze my butt off? I mean, ultimately, because I don't know about you, Left. My TV is pretty big.
Wait, where is the game at?
Where's the game at?
The championship game. Oh,
championship game is
or Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Super Bowl. Where's Super Bowl at?
Super Bowl this year is. That's a good question, Left. I think New Orleans. It's New Orleans. That's why all the Lil Wayne stuff. Yeah, it's New Orleans. Yeah. So more than likely, I'm going to accept, because of the moment, I'm going to accept the tickets.
Good,
but I'm telling you, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Standing in the cold, that plays in my mind because I love my 75 degrees and my big screen. Love it.
It's just a better seat.
Yeah, better seat, better food, better Wi-Fi, all of that.
Hard to tweet at the game, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Lucky Lefty podcast. The captains continued to speak, met with the media, and Xavier Watts, this is what he had to say.
Yeah, I think they just do a good job of running and passing the ball. They're not one-dimensional. They have a good running game, they have a good passing game, and they got a lot of talented, receivers and running backs. So, and quarterbacks to play as well.
What do you expect the atmosphere to be like Friday night?
I think it's gonna be really, really, really cool. I mean, it's the first playoff game, home game, Notre Dame. It's gonna be 8 p.m. Was college game day, so I think it's gonna be very electric.
What's the most exciting part about all of this for you? Just to play, obviously, first playoff game, but for you personally, what's the most exciting part about this?
Yeah, I mean, I just think just the playoffs in general. I mean, it's the first 12-team playoff. I mean, it's something to be proud of. I mean, it's the first one ever, especially, like I said, having a home playoff game is really cool. So it's going to be something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Actually, you're preparing for Indiana, but Indiana's preparing for you. When they look at you on tape, what do they see?
I mean, I don't know. I'm going to get the ball. So we'll see on Saturday. So I expect to get the ball. So hopefully they see that as well. So
you've been named to a couple All-American teams recently. Was that kind of accolades mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a credit, to, the hard work I've put in. Really proud of, what I've been able to accomplish these past 2 years. And then, just a credit to my teammates as well for, I'll always give credit to them because without them, I wouldn't be able to, do what I do.
Congrats to X and all his postseason awards. Talk your talk, X.
Wait a minute.
Talk your talk.
Wait a minute.
That cat X said, I expect to get the ball Saturday night.
Wait, the game
sitting up here talking like a wide receiver. I expect to get the ball. When they see me on film, that's what they see. They see a dude that expects to get the ball.
Wait, the game's at 8 p.m.?
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I didn't know the game was at 8. Oh, man.
Why do you think I'm thinking about turning down tickets?
Man, this is I don't think people understand what 8 p.m.
in South Bend in December. 26 degrees, love. 26, bro.
No, man, this is not
26.
This is not great. It's just an ugly win. I just feel like it's an ugly win coming that you just get the win and look past it. Don't even try to watch film and act like 26 degrees on a Friday night in South Bend in December when school's over? Oh man. This is why I said we got to rethink this whole we can only be, fifth at the highest, because oh my goodness. Like we have to honestly think about playing for strategy. Because this is great, it's fun and all that, but these are still kids. It's in the NFL, Oh my God. I didn't even know it was at 8 p.m., Sean. This is not good.
Well, see, someone like you can say that. If Reg and O were on the show right now, they would be like, "Left, stop playing." It was -3 against Penn State in 91. Like, dog, that's a vacation. The games they used to play.
This is an ugly win coming. We'll win the game. It's not going to be the style in which we usually do. We'll win the game, but oh my goodness.
Jay Henry said Left is appalled right now.
Yeah, I already know what's coming. I already know what's coming. It's going to be some crazy.
Oh, man.
That cold affects everybody. But, man, those ugly games from like the 70s with the field all messed up in the mud and.
No, see, they have that performance turf now, so it won't be muddy like that.
No, I'm just saying that style of game where you're just like, what am I watching?
No, I think it's going to be a lot of pads popping though. There's going to be a lot of pads popping. You're gonna see some dudes on the ground. I can tell you that. Okay, X said he's gonna get the ball though. Yo, did you see Christian Gray? Christian Gray is funny, man. That dude, I see why they pretty much call him the team clown. This cat, Christian Gray, was on with Jordan Clark and pretty much was asked, I don't even know what the question was. And he was like, yeah. He was like, if I switch to wide receiver, I'll probably be the best wide receiver. And I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, Christian, come on, man. Come on, man.
He moved right now. He got the body type. He looked like Carnell Tate.
I just don't need him to say that publicly.
Listen, he can say it publicly because what are we, our receiver core isn't somebody can go in there and do it. It's open for it. Let's be honest.
I like the confidence though.
He played both in high school. In practice, he like, man, I'll probably go over there and catch a couple balls.
You think Coach would ever let you think Coach Freeman would ever let somebody
It'll happen eventually. I think just the way he's recruiting though, with all these guys being two-way players, he's looking at it more of an infantry standpoint, like switching guys in depth need. But we're set up to do it for sure. I just don't know who on offense I would like to see on defense. That's all.
Yeah. I get it, man. I get it. I'm still all about X talking his talk, though. Talk that talk, X. That cat X is like, I'm coming down with one set Friday. Oh, I'm getting one. That's what I plan to get. Whether it's snow, rain, cold.
It's crazy you got snubbed from them awards.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That just lets you know. I had this discussion with somebody. People, that's why I don't even get into arguments with people that all they can throw at you is stats. Like, I can listen to somebody talk for the first 5 minutes about basketball, and if all they want to throw at me is analytics, I'm like, you don't know the game. Like, I'm done. I'm done. That's all you got. You don't have the context behind that, the understanding of the game, the situations behind that. You're just gonna throw the stats at me and say, like, people that use steals in basketball as a sign that somebody's a good defensive player. Oh, they average 2 steals a game. Yeah, but they get blown by 80% of the time.
Oh, they hit you with the, yeah.
But they average 2 steals a game, so they're a good defender. No. Nice try.
Does that make him a good defender, though? You average 2 steals a game?
You can have anticipatory skills, dude. But no, that doesn't make you a good defender. It makes you a good help defender. You can be a good help defender and be a terrible on-ball defender. Head up. It's like having a safety that's good in zone or a defensive back that's good in zone, but if they have to man up, it's not good.
Not good.
No, it's not good. It's not good. Jack Kaiser, he met with the media.
I mean, I think that just comes from, my upbringing, being the youngest, of 4. You just kind of learn from them, learn from their mistakes, learn from their successes, learn from your parents just yelling at you for stuff. But no, I don't know, that's just something I've always been about, is making sure you do everything the right way. And, how you do anything is how you do everything. So.
What about the details against Indiana?
Yeah, the details against Indiana. Anytime you're playing in a big-time game, certainly there's no game bigger than the one coming up, and especially in the college football playoff, you got to focus on the details, and so that's making sure you win your one-on-one. That's making sure you have the right run fit. It's pre-snap. What can I identify to give me an edge? But then it's also making sure just everybody's locked in on the sideline, right? When you come off to make adjustments, we can't have people, looking at the crowd and looking at the atmosphere. No, you got to be locked in and knowing what's going on and staying in the moment. So I think that all kind of just goes into, the little details.
The crowd and the atmosphere are going to be something special on Friday. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think, there's no doubt about it. There's been a call to action to Irish fans to make this atmosphere different. I don't know the last time a Friday night game has been played in Notre Dame Stadium, but
never.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's going to be, an unbelievable atmosphere to be a part of. And so if you got the opportunity to be there, put your coat on, put your hat on, get there and stand up. You'll be warmer standing than you will be sitting down.
Yeah. The one thing I can say about this team is that they show a tendency of locking into details. Specifically, I think about that play against USC where Drake Bowen is calling out the play. And I think that has been one of their strengths in their preparation, specifically on the defensive side. I think the offense has begun to catch up. I bookmarked for me, because I watched every game this week and watched a little bit of Indiana, but specifically watching all the Notre Dame games. The bookmark game for me where everything switched was Georgia Tech. That was the game for me where it was like, okay, this team is different. I don't know what happened during that week of preparation. I just have no clue. But you could just tell the way they went about their business, their attention to detail. And this is after the loss. This is fresh off the loss of Benjamin Morrison. And Al Golden did not change a thing. He was just as aggressive. And that within itself just lets you know, man, from a defensive perspective, like Jack Kaiser, they understand the assignment. This is what I talk about. You talk about the romanticizing the game, overlooking, we got to beat them first. Like, dude, we're fans. We're podcasters. We're media. We can talk about, we can look forward. We're not on the field. So we can talk about looking forward. We're not, what we say is not going to impact what Notre Dame does on the field. Not one bit.
Not one bit.
Not one bit. And Notre Dame understands that, but Notre Dame has been operating like that. Notre Dame has been playing playoff football post NIU the entire season. Every game has been a playoff game. Every game has been an elimination game. And it's been a big game because it's Notre Dame. So this environment might be ratcheted up a little bit more. Yes, it's the first, and there never will be another first. But as far as preparation, big games, donning that gold helmet, the urgency, they've been in that mode since the NIU. They've been in that mode. Now they're healthy. See, that's the key. Now they're healthy. They're getting healthier.
Yeah.
So that, the operation is going to be the same.
Yeah.
We can talk about Georgia. We can talk about the semifinals. We can talk about getting to the national championship game. Not going to, because we talk about it, isn't going to affect anything. I guarantee you, Marcus Freeman is going to stand up before his team Friday night at 7:30 p.m. South Bend time, Eastern time zone, and tell his team, you're the better team. Go out there and kick their butt. You're the better team. Let's go. That's what he's going to say. He's not going to say, well, we don't know who's the better team, so let's go out here and try our best. No, he's going to tell his team in the locker room, you're the better team. Go out there and execute and do what we do, and we're going to win this game. And that's that.
If we just go out there and do what we're supposed to do, we can win. I think a lot of it starts with just an execution level because, for us, especially these weather conditions, it's not the game to be sloppy. So I think Denbrock is trying to find our most precise and concise things that we can execute because it's not a thing, I think, where IU is going to take something away. I think IU is banking on them playing consistent and hopefully we make a mistake offensively, which they've seen us go 1 for 12 on third down.
Yeah.
They've seen us do some things to where they're like, we're a better team than them, and they went 1 for 12.
Heck yeah.
So if we just play our game, we can get more stops and not give our offense a chance. So I think in that regard, we have to come with a sense of satisfaction of that we can execute. I think that'll be on Saturday.
Lucky Lefty podcast. I don't think I see any more GTB questions left. Tomorrow we'll dig in a little bit more on Marcus Freeman and what he had to say about the matchup. And then we'll hear from Bo Collins and a couple other Notre Dame players. And we'll start looking at the numbers left. Have some interesting stats to talk about from the Michigan game. Interesting stats. And the Ohio State game. Interesting stats to point out and dig into how difficult is it really to run against this Indiana defense? How difficult is it? It's much easier when your offense jumps out in front. It's much easier when your offense jumps out in front by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and teams have to throw the ball to get back in games. So has this Indiana team really been tested in the run game where they had to defend it for 4 quarters? See, because it's a lot easier to stop a run game in the first half, but when you get a little weary and you're well doing, and
that comes from substitutions. You throw a Jadarian and Nielsen and break it up, throw around in there and hit you with a chair. It's just a lot.
Yes, sir.
And tackling in the cold is not easy.
Yes, sir. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Indiana, you drag them into that deep end of the pool. Are they still going to be able to shut down the run? We'll talk about it. Have a great Tuesday. I got Bible class. Great lesson to teach tonight, Left. I'm excited. But for everybody else out there, continue to enjoy your holiday season, love on each other, and continue to make sure that you spin it different. We'll holler at you guys tomorrow.